The ideas behind these entities are quite simple. There are numerous jobs which can be filled by people looking to make a commitment to work that improves us as a community. Food pantries, homeless shelters, crisis intervention programs, and many such other social service needs are armed every day with volunteers eager to be of service. Service to your fellow human being is the highest calling. I am a better person today because along the way I was touched by a volunteer, I learned to volunteer, and I hope to teach my children to be volunteers. As learning leaders, you have come to epitomize the power of volunteerism. Placed in schools throughout this city, you have become the eyes and the ears of the public. You are the public that public education was created to serve. In your work every day, you confront reality with a reputation for being keen observers and willing partners. The lessons that you learn every day from firsthand experience make you the savviest interpreters of what is going on in the public school system. I have learned through the years to rely on the kindnesses of strangers who are called volunteers, people who came into my life in schools, hospitals, libraries, and community centers. The talents that volunteers, and you in particular in your work in schools, bring to bear to ensure equity and opportunity to all those youngsters who, like me, have their own long division trials waiting for them every single day. You wake, you invigorate, and you direct the talents of countless youngsters throughout the city. You support the work of teachers and principals. When the story is written about the transformation of the city school system, you will stand out as key partners. In over 900 schools, this massive influx of volunteer force has been key to this progress. School reform is a transition from the past into the future. Reforms that succeed carefully preserve the bonds which connect the present and the past. Learning leaders are the past, the present, and the future. Only a fool would underestimate the value of your work, the essence of your presence, and the power of your mission. Success in our schools is dependent on your intolerance of failure. I'd like to end where I began this morning by telling you all of my further adventures with Mrs. B and myself. Several weeks after I was elected Vice Chancellor of the State Board of Regents, I got a letter from Miss B congratulating me. The letter began with, "I'm sure you don't remember me." It took my breath away. How could this woman not know how deeply she affected my life? I immediately responded to her by recounting the long division tale, and in typical Miss B fashion, she sent back a quick response telling me what a great student I was and how kind it was of me to remember her. 2 years later, I learned from Mrs. B's son that she had passed away at a very ripe old age. He said that in going through her papers, he had come across a file which tracked my career, and he wanted me to have it. So I end by saying publicly, thank you, Mrs. B, for taking the time to be my friend, my teacher, and my helper. Thank you for taking an interest in me before it was popular to be my friend. And to all of you who question your impact, I look out here this morning and I see a sea of Mrs. B's. And one day, in some yet unknown circumstance, an adult will come out of the blue and acknowledge your deep and abiding impact in their lives. And for all of them, well in advance, I end by saying thank you.